826 Big Chicken Morning Show on V103, the ATL's number one for hip hop, R&B, and throwbacks. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Shamea's surrogacy journey.
Hey, best friends. Yes, I'm so excited. Shadina is here with me.
Hello.
32 weeks on Friday.
Yes.
This baby is growing. You were wobbling a little bit, Mama, but you cute, though.
I am wobbling. Thank you. You make me feel like $1 million.
We also
See how she treats you because she ain't carrying the baby herself.
I appreciate it because I need it some days.
I know. I love you. And then we have Dr. Lauren Berman here. She's a practicing clinical psychologist in Atlanta here and had been here since 1989. My goodness.
I've been in Atlanta since 1982, and I started practicing psychology in 1989.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So that's the year I was born.
And that tells you how old I am.
This is amazing. So, I was in good hands when I saw all that. I was so excited to have met you because, honestly, I was a bit nervous about this entire process. My husband and I both going into it because I carried Shia naturally. And I never thought I would have to be at this point to where I would need help growing my family. So when we came into your office, I was so afraid, but you welcomed us with open arms, and you were just what we needed, answered every single question we had. Dr. Berman deals with, or she has an expertise in assessment and treatment of post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, anxiety, postpartum. I mean, you name it, you've dealt with it. So just my little stuff was so small coming in comparison to what you really deal with.
Actually, it's really exciting to work with people on their surrogacy journeys and to help coach them and move them forward, to make sure that they go into this with all the knowledge that they need.
Absolutely. And a lot of people don't know that in order to be clear to even have a surrogate, you actually have to go and sit down and talk to a licensed clinician like Dr. Berman. Like, can you elaborate and let them know what are some of the things you check off when we come in and get evaluations?
Well, it's not an evaluation, so that I think that word scares people, and I don't blame them. And so it is not an evaluation. I'm not telling you that you are not fit to be a parent. What it is psychoeducational counseling. So we're giving you all the information that you need in order to feel comfortable moving forward. Shamea, did you feel comfortable moving forward after we met all together? And
Oh, absolutely, because some of my things or my hangups were, so am I going to be on the birth certificate? Like, will my name be there or will her name be there? Even just, how would I tell her that you're my daughter, but I didn't birth you? And that's another thing I went back to you, Shadina, for that book.
Yes,
that you created.
The children's book. Yes, absolutely. That's a great way to be able to share, because it is hard to kind of talk about. And Dr. Berman does a really good job from that aspect of like what that looks like, when you should share with the baby, if you should even share. I mean, it's a little bit different than adoption or egg donor, because it is your daughter. It's your eggs and embryo, and she gonna look like you and Gerald. So
right.
She gonna look like Gerald.
right.
Well, it is very important to share because, there are going to be photos of you, of other women carrying their babies, and no photos of you carrying this baby, but there'll be photos of Shadina carrying this baby.
Right.
And so we just think it's really helpful for children to have just a full access to this story, and it's a story about a very wanted child. So that's always a good story.
Absolutely. And what age would you say?
We just start really, really young before you ever think they're understanding it.
Mm-hmm. So I do have a gift for you coming up, and it is a book that you will be able to create with actual pictures of like what this journey looked like, and put our actual faces and then her face into the book.
Nice.
So it helps to kind of visualize actually what that looked like, that you can share pretty early with the children as well.
Shamea, you don't have to miss out on that. You can go buy your stomach at Target and just go ahead and fake the funk like they do on Handmaid's Tale. I know you got a degree in psychology and stuff, but I'm just saying what we do in the hood. Just go get you a picture and blend right in.
No thanks.
Well, I'm definitely not on that side of it, but I think an interesting angle would to tell your daughter this is how much we wanted and desired you. We went through
absolutely.
this extra step, this extra process, just because we wanted you that bad. That's how much we wanted you. That's how much we love you. So.
Wow.
That's right. So here's the story you can
Can I
tell
write a
you.
book? Oh, sorry.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So the story is Mommy and Daddy. What's your child's name?
Shiloh.
And Shiloh.
Oh, is that the official?
You have a son, right?
I have another daughter, Shia.
Shia. Okay, so Mommy and Daddy and Shia were waiting and waiting and waiting for you to come, and you weren't coming. So we went to see Dr.
Jackie.
And she said, well, I know how you can have your baby. All you need is help from a special lady.
Shadina.
Auntie Shadina.
There you go.
Aw, yes. So, I mean, I'm sure you're like me. You probably have a lot of questions. I know earlier in the Tia, I talked about Tracy Ellis Ross and her not having children and her feeling like the ability to procreate was leaving her body. She felt it. If you're listening right now, and maybe you don't, you're premenopausal or perimenopausal, whatever, and you still want to have a family, there are options out there for you. I want you to call us, tell us what you feel, what you think, or if you have a question for Dr. Berman, call us up, let us know. We want to answer some of your questions. That's what this whole journey is about. It's about sharing and being vulnerable. 404-741-WVEE. We're taking your calls right now on B103.
850 with the Big Chicken Morning Show on V103, the ATL's #1 for hip hop, R&B, and throwbacks. In the midst of Shamea's surrogacy journey right about now.
Yes, we are. So many questions. Like, one of my fears was, am I going to be able to connect with my daughter, Shiloh, when she comes home? Like, or am I going to be like, hey, whose baby am I babysitting? I don't know.
Well, the wonderful thing is that you have been involved with Shadina all along during the journey. You've seen the ultrasounds. You've been there for the appointments. And that really helps with attachments. And, sometimes it just does feel different when you deliver versus not delivering, that you have that attachment inside, but you've been there all along on this journey.
True. What do I do to connect with her? Because with Shia, it was easy because I nursed her, but so I don't really know,
just cuddling a baby and feeding them isn't attaching, even if you're not nursing. And baby massage are nice, and playing and tickling and holding, and once that baby gets used to you, which will be pretty much immediate, so you don't have to worry about baby attaching to you.
All right.
Yeah.
But it will feel different than with your older daughter. So, but it takes a little time. Just need to be patient. Yeah.
All right.
Watch a little Netflix with the baby.
Are there some good bonding shows that you can recommend?
Miss Pet Show.
I knew that was coming. Baby gonna come out cussing.
Show. It's all right.
Dr. Berman, many men have heard of postpartum. We hear about it all the time. We don't really understand it. Where does it come from? Is it mental? Is it physiological? And as a man, what is there anything that we can do?
Yeah, that's a really great question, because postpartum is fairly common, and there's a whole bunch of factors, and it's really sensitive of you to be asking about that. But there's a bunch of factors. I mean, there are some. I've met military wives whose husbands are deployed when they give birth, and they're on a base. They're away from family. They're overwhelmed, and so situationally, that could really create a problem with depression. Right. There are also lots of women have cyclical hormones, and our bodies change all the time. And pregnancy is a time of and delivery are a time of incredible hormonal change, and that really can affect mood, and that can creep up on you and be really surprising. So there's lots and lots of factors. Not getting enough sleep is a factor in depression.
Ain't got enough money.
And not enough money, being overwhelmed, being super stressed. Yeah. Wondering, how am I going to take care of my children?
Where am I going to steal the baby milk from it this week?
No.
So should they talk to somebody, or is it like a physical thing that you can do? to? Or
First person to talk to, there will be a 6-week checkup after you deliver your child, and the first person to talk to is your OBGYN, and they will do an assessment.
okay.
Yeah, but really talk to your partner, talk to your friends, talk to your doctors, and then your doctor might send you to someone like me. Your doctor might prescribe some medication, and it's really important to take the medication if you're going through that. If your doctor prescribes it.
Dr. Berman on Shamea's surrogacy journey. Really quickly, Shadina, my other just curious question. This is your third surrogacy.
Correct.
We're talking about postpartum, and you're like
Yes.
having this child, and then like, all right, bye.
There you go.
Yeah. Luckily for me, I've never experienced postpartum depression in my own pregnancies or any of the surrogacy journeys. Most
So you don't
times.
miss this child that you went
No,
walking
like
around with?
I have already planned out my year from delivery till the rest of the year of travel. I mean, I have
Okay.
my own kids that I'm heavily involved in, and so I just have never. I'm very thankful that has never been a part of my journey.
Okay.
Well, doctor, can you have postpartum if it's been 35 years?
Postpartum 35 years later.
Oh, girl.
That would be post.
That's something else.
Triple decade
I'm crazy.
postpartum.
I'm crazy then.
Yes, indeed. Dr. Berman in the building with Shamea's surrogacy journey. We coming back with more sis.
That's right. Yes, we are. More questions. We took a lot of calls during the break. Call us up. You might have something. It don't have to be aired. I mean, we can just talk to you offline about whatever questions you might have about your journey into motherhood or fatherhood. 404-741-WVEE is the number. Stick around. More about this surrogacy journey right here on V103.
909 with the Big Ticket Morning Show on V103, the ATL's number one for hip hop, R&B, and throwbacks. Happy Wednesday, January 18th. On our way up to a rainy high, 66 degrees in the midst of Shamea's surrogacy journey.
That's right, best friends. We're still here with Dr. Lauren Berman, my psychologist on this journey. And we have my beautiful surrogate, my baby mama, Shadina Blunt here. We've been talking a lot about this journey, a lot of questions about mental illness and mental health. And we've taken, I guess questions all the way from my live up to Big Tigger had some pretty amazing questions. But on the phone right now, I have Lynn in Atlanta.
I just have a question. I just want to know if for the birth certificate, which person will be on the birth certificate, the surrogate or the mother?
So the legal work is done ahead of time. So the hospital has all the information. So Shamea and Gerald will be on the birth certificate. Shadina will not.
Yes, and we were just talking about that yesterday, making sure we had all of our necessary papers in place so we can take them to the hospital. So that way we are ready when baby comes to make sure that is an easy transition for them.
And that's why when you do this, you need an expert reproductive law attorney.
Yes, and very important.
So important. And that was actually one of my worries. I was like, wait a minute, now how am I going to explain this? Every year, they take their birth certificate to the DMV or whatever. And it's like, who's this other person? But Shadina was like, no, ma'am, I'm not going to be on your child's birth certificate. That is okay.
She'll be here.
Beautiful.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. All right, we got another call. Good morning.
Hey, Shamea, I don't have a question, but I want to take the time to thank you so much for using your platform to talk about things like this. As a fertility warrior, I just want to say thank you. I wish you was around 4 years ago when I went through my own infertility struggles and letting people know it's okay to choose different options. You're a mom no matter how you deliver your baby.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Oh, well, I appreciate you calling me and telling me that. It makes me feel good, and it makes me feel like the journey, it's worthwhile sharing it with you. So thank you, and continue to tune in, tell people to listen in, because you just don't know how you bless somebody. That's right. And I appreciate you, Atlanta, and all of you just for being so open and allowing me to be vulnerable and feel like I have a safe space here.
Fertility Warrior Gang.
Fertility Warrior Gang. Gang. Oh, thank you so much, Shadina. Thank you, Dr. Lauren Berman.
Baby, know you're talking about it. This baby is kicking. She's over here hitting flips. She was like, I'm hungry.
She's a performer.
She dancing like her mama.
Oh, yeah. I just felt her. She was kicking up. So, I'm about to cry.
Sweet
And I'm
girl.
a thug.
Oh, I'm excited.
She's kicking Shamea. I just felt her kick.
Yay. Don't be trying to hold on now.
Can I
It feels
touch
like you're finna try and come up on a lawsuit. Like, my baby did not kick you. Y'all continue to
Your baby
follow our
kicked
journey.
me.
Thank you again to my beautiful surrogate, Shadina Blonde of Surrogacy Miracles. If you or a loved one wants to become a surrogate, like Shadina, feel free to follow her.
Yeah, so at Shadina Blunt or follow Surrogacy Miracles at Surrogacy Miracles. We are looking for new surrogates every day. We have more than enough families that are in need of gestational carriers.
Yeah, because my husband is still vying for that boy. So,
Yes.
What you
Shamea asks me
moving about?
every day about carrying.
right, I'm like, you got a new one?
Do you have any, Pat?
I was gonna say, if you can't afford the gestation, call me because I know some hood rats at womb still work.
And they'll run off with your baby. Don't you do
No,
it.
they won't.
Don't
I
you
got a
do it.
pistol.
No, you got to have somebody like Dr. Laura Berman. That's what you got to have.
Yes.
If you need an amazing clinical psychologist in the Atlanta area, I mean, like I said, she's been practicing since 1989. She is the real deal. Please tell everybody how they can follow you or get more information from you.
Thank you. I am not so savvy on social media, but please call my office at 404-634-2555 or my website, www.laurenberman.com.
That's right. And I'll also be posting that information. But y'all, thank you again. And we'll have more information about the journey next week, Wednesday in the 8 o'clock hour.